Hey guys, Derek Oats with smartShift. I'm here alongside Arndt Hoffmann, Chief Strategist at smartShift. Um, Arndt and I, along with the rest of the executive team at smartShift, spent a lot of time talking about SAP, obviously, and the SAP strategy. And one of the things that we spent a lot of time talking about over the last 12 months with customers and our partners is the clean core strategy from SAP. We thought it might make sense to record a conversation um, to give you potentially our perspective on what clean core means to us and what we think it means to customers. And maybe there could be some benefit to explain how smartShift fits into the clean core strategy from SAP.
Hey, Derek. Yeah, definitely. I think the whole clean core concept has created a lot of buzz in the market with SAP and definitely also our partners. And we also have seen that SAP is heavily investing in the whole concept of clean core with new technologies and frameworks like BTP, steampunk, and embedded steampunk. The idea behind that is, as we all know, is the concept of a clean SAP core with an extensibility concept which supports seamless upgrades and at the end, the easy consumption of SAP innovations. That all has an impact also on the technology stack, right? You need to move away from this classical, what we call freestyle ABAP, and remove this classical way of programming with more loosely coupled, scalable, and dynamic developments, which embrace these RESTful concepts, microservices, and modern UIs. I know that you talk to a lot of business and IT leaders in the world, Derek. Is it just a buzzword, this whole clean core, or what do you think? Is this really considered and relevant for the leaders?
Yeah, so my perspective on it is it's definitely relevant and it's extremely important, right? Because a lot of the clean core discussion comes back to, the beginning of the S4 journey for a lot of the customers, right? What should stay inside the core versus what can come out of it. And I think it's important for CEOs and CIOs because one, every SAP customer, if they're not already moving to S4 in the cloud, they clearly have a roadmap and a plan to get there. And two, that roadmap and plan has to be lined up strategically with not only the architecture today from an SAP perspective, but where SAP is going in the future. So when I talk to a lot of the leaders across the SAP space, it's where are we today? How do we get to where we need to go? Not just from an S4 and cloud standpoint, but also from a BTP and cloud perspective moving forward, right? How do you identify the low-hanging fruit with regards to moving to BTP and potentially other microservices architectures, and how do you do it in a way that actually makes sense for your organization relative to where they are, right? So those are a lot of the discussions that I'm having. And I know, Arndt, you speak to a lot of customers as well. What is your feedback that you're getting from customers and partners, and what are some of the things that you found interesting in these discussions?
Well, the whole topic is definitely on the CIO agenda, right? It's seen as a highly desirable concept. On the other side, it is also seen that it is not that easy, and you need somehow a sort of pragmatic approach to the whole concept. And why is it not so easy? It's not like the classical release upgrades you have done in the past or moving to HANA or S4HANA. It is really about code refactoring, application refactoring, and modernization. And you need to think about separation of your business areas. You need to separate standard from custom code. You need to refactor your business logic and things like that, right? So it's not a click of a button thing to go there. And therefore, we as smartShift, together with our customers, we recommend a stepwise approach, which actually can already start on ECC, right? You start with looking at code usage, what can be decommissioned. As an average, 40 to 60% of developments in a given SAP system can be retired already today, right? And then you start separating your business areas, building new package structures. You prepare your code syntax to being cloud ready. You analyze your repository, you think about target architecture, and you start refactoring. And we have done that, for example, already for existing smartShift customers like BMW, where we have helped to actually reduce the custom code footprint in their logistics system by 90%, and also reducing dependencies to SAP standard and other custom applications massively. And this is already the start to get into this clean core concept and to be better prepared for the future.
Excellent. Yeah, I think, I think it's spot on. And I think the one thing that continuously pops up as well is the importance of automation in that entire story, right? Every partner that we speak to, every customer that we speak to, they're all very much concerned, and likely appropriately so, about how to get more out of their resources, knowing that from an SAP development standpoint, it's difficult to find ABAPers at this point, right? So from an efficiency standpoint, and also just from a resource availability standpoint, it really does make sense to try and leverage automation where you can. And when you look at the, from a smartShift perspective, not only can we obviously go in and help customers understand what they have from a custom code standpoint with regards to code transformation, moving to S4, as well as obviously starting with decommissioning, as you said, it really comes down to the benefit and value that we're able to provide those customers from an automation perspective. When we talk about that, we specifically are talking about, and I tell leaders all the time across the SAP space, the benefit and value of actually automating 90% of the actual code fix, right? That it cannot be overlooked at all when it comes to trying to be efficient, not only for your standard code transformation, but when you're looking to actually potentially identify low-hanging fruit from a BTP standpoint. So I think that's critical. I think that from an SI standpoint, when they're telling us the same thing, where they're saying, hey, look, we just don't have enough bodies to deliver the amount of code work across the code stream from the beginning of what could be a 3 to 5 year transformation plan. Without looking at automation, sometimes there's a lot of customers that just can't get over the line when it comes to even kicking off that type of effort. So, I think where we are, the best guidance that I can give, customers and SIs is that, if you're not looking at automation, you're really not setting yourself up for the most efficient and potentially positive outcome. Hopefully this is beneficial for some. Again, these are the types of discussions that we're having on a daily basis. If there's anything that we can do to help guide customers, SIs, and provide some context along the lines of the automation of the journey, we would be happy to help out and to assist as we have these conversations daily with not only our team, but SIs and SAP and customers along. So thanks so much for checking this out. If you have questions, please do reach out to us. We'd be happy to help in any way.